Hey everybody, welcome back. I think we're just gonna jump into it. I don't have any amusing anecdotes or stories or anything like that to amuse you with today. So I think we're just gonna jump right into the orders phase. So let's take a look at what cards we've got for the French. We got bayonet charge. Issue an order to 4 fewer infantry. Move 2 hexes. No, that's not going to work. Attack right flank, 3 on the right. I might do that. Bombard. Up to 3 hexes out. Nope, none of my artillery's in range. Recon on force. 1 from the middle and 1 from the right. That's a possibility. Attack center, 3 in the center. Ooh, that's always a good one too. First strike. Okay, we need to remember that one. All right, you know what? I think we're going to go with the attack right flank. And basically, for those of you who don't know the mechanics of the system, you play a card, and it usually has do something on a flank. And as you can see, this card is attack right flank. And so what you've got on the board is you've got these dotted delineations and the different flanks, right, center, left, depending on how you're sitting at it. And so I've issued order to 3 units or leaders on the right flank. So basically any unit that's stacked in a hex on the right flank, and I will note that there are some hexes that cover 2 different flanks. They count as either flank. So I've got basically 3 units on the right flank that I can do something with. And honestly, I think it's probably going to be the light infantry and the cav. So, let's see. Light infantry. Check my handy dandy national unit reference chart. It basically gives breakdown of what everything is and what everything can do. So you got line infantry, 4 blocks per unit. Movement in hexes 1. Yay! All right, there we go. They can move 1 hex, and any battle modifiers roll 1 additional dice against infantry only in melee combat. All right, so they got a movement of 1. So let's go ahead and move them there. And you basically move the entire. I will go ahead and say a lot of times most people play the game with the blocks up like this, and it does kind of look really cool. But I think for our purposes, since in the way I'm recording, I thought I'd just go ahead and do them lay down flat. That's light cav over there. What does light cav move? Light cav moves 1 to 3. I think moving my light infantry there may have kind of messed me. Okay, let's go ahead and retcon that. Let's take that back. We'll go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then move those guys up like that. How's that look? Yeah, we like that. Kind of puts me in range of that artillery on the hill. Actually, yeah. Oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, moving onto a hill. The effects of moving onto a hill. Because I may not want to get that close to that artillery. Check the rulebook. Let's see. Hill, I think, no movement restrictions. Okay, so we'll go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then move those guys there. There, that's better. Oops, let's move it that way so you can see it. All right, so that, if there was any melee, there isn't. I can't shoot. There's nothing for me to attack against. So basically the card goes over in the discard pile. We'll just put that right there and draw a new card for next turn. And what have we got? Probe right flank, which is 2. Well, that's good. So now we're going to switch over to the British. And playing the British from this perspective is going to be a little bit different, because if it says, assault right flank, I have to remember that it's their right flank. So it'll be over here. So let's actually see what we got. We got forward, which is 2 in everything. Assault right flank, which is equal to command on the right flank. Unfortunately, I've only got 3 units on the right flank. And one of them's in... I don't want to move now, so we'll go that. Scout left flank, which will be over here on my right, which is 1. Scout right flank for 1. Attack right for 3. Fire and hold. Nobody's close enough. Actually, I think we're probably going to go with forward, because that gives us 2 in each position. Let's go ahead and throw that in the discard right now. So let's start over here. We've got, what is that? Guards, Grenadiers, and light infantry. So let's take a look at what their movement is. See, light infantry is 1 or 2 hexes if they don't battle. Guard Grenadiers just 1. All right, so let's go ahead and move these guys here. And then these guys will go 1, 2 to move here. Okay. In the center, no real clue where we want to commit the cav yet. So let's just go ahead and move these guys here. Move these guys up a little bit here. And then over here, with the heavy cav. Okay. 1 or 2 hexes. Oh, no, those are Portuguese. Heavy cav. 1 or 2 hexes. Roll an additional die in melee. May retire and reform. Alright, so 2 hexes. I think we'll go 1. And then 1, 2. Just to get these eyes up online a little bit. You know, I could have shot the cannons. Could have stayed in position and shot the cannons instead of moving them up. Nah, we're not going to worry about that. All right, so that's that. Draw a command card. And let's attack right flank. So that may be looking good for next turn. All right, flip back over to the French. What do we got? Bayonet charge, bombard, recon force, attack center, probe right flank. Probe right. Do I really want those light cavalry rushing up to charge that heavy cavalry, though? Oh, why not? What's the worst that could happen? We're going to go ahead and do probe right flank. So that's 2 units. And light cav can move up to... How far can light cav move? 3 hexes. So we're going to go 1, 2... And then go 1, 2. Then, since that's all for movement, when we go into combat, since we actually are right next to each other, let's see, does any effects for light combat? May retire and reform when melee attacked by infantry. And we know the British heavy cav roll 1 additional dice in melee. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take these guys. Okay, what's the leader do again? I just read this last night, what the leaders do. I think it gives them an extra dice. Leaders retreat, leaders escape, boost morale. Oh yeah, if the leader attached, they can disregard 1 flag. Okay, I don't think a leader... I think maybe an ancient's leader does something extra. Hitting the leader, ranged combat. Actually, I don't think leaders do anything on the attack. So, so we got 4 light cav and 4 light cav. So we roll. There is a way to combine attacks if you've got artillery. Artillery can throw their dice in with an attack, but you can't really combine. You know, like 8 dice. At least I don't think you can. I think it's just 1 unit at a time. I think artillery is the only thing that can do the combined arms. Yeah. Must declare and resolve 1 unit's melee attack entirely. Yeah. All right. All right, so we got 4 dice going at that heavy cav. All right, we take a look at our dice rolled, and we got 2 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 cav. So we got 1 cav hit. So those guys will take 1 hit, and they'll lose a step. Technically, it's a step. And there were no flags rolled, so there's no worried about retreats. And then the heavy cav gets to battle back. Now, one of the big differences between Ancients and Napoleonics is in Ancients, no matter how many step losses a unit had taken, it still rolls its full attack dice. I think light rolled 3, mediums rolled 4, heavies rolled 5. With Napoleonics, and I even think Memoir 44, you roll a number of dice equal to how many steps you have left. So basically, the heavy cav has 2 steps left, but since they're heavy cav, they get an extra dice. So they get 3 dice. We roll that. We got a flag, a cannon, and an infantry. I know it's kind of hard to see with the glass. So we got no cav hits, so there are no cav hits. And we got a flag, but the leader negates the first flag, so that unit doesn't have to retreat. So now the second combat, these guys are going to go ahead and attack the heavy cav as well. Again, it's 4 dice because there's 4 steps to the unit. Okay, we got 2 flags, infantry, and sabers. So sabers is a hit in melee, so there is that. And then we got 2 flags, so that means that they are going to have to retreat twice, but I think one of them is negated because they've got units adjacent to them. I can't remember if it's 1 or 2, so let me check that real quick. Retreats. After hits are resolved, for each retreated flag rolled against a unit, the unit must remove 1 hex back. 2 flags will force a unit back 2 hexes. Exception, militia retreat 3 flags per hex, or 3 hexes per flag. Unit must retreat. Let's see. Booster morale. Unit may disregard 1 flag when a leader is attached. Oh, unit may disregard 1 flag when supported by 2 or more friendly units. Okay. So it's only got 1 unit beside him, so they're going to have to retreat. So that's 2 hexes that they're going to have to retreat. In the Ancients, it was a little bit more debilitating. I think cavalry retreated 3 hexes for each flag. So it was you get a couple flag hits on cav, and they would just bolt to the other side of the field. Okay, now there is no battle back since the cav did drive off. Since the French light cav did drive off the British heavy cav, there is no chance for the heavy cav to battle back, so we don't have to worry about that. So that's basically the end of that turn. Draw another card. What do we get? Probe left. All right. So we're back over to the British. And let's take a look. We got assault right flank, which was a number of command dice, or a number of units equal to the command, which is number of cards held in the hand. And since it's assault right flank, we kind of have to look at it that way. So that's over on that side. The only thing I got, what have we got on the left flank? Right flank, everything right flank, except for scout left flank. Or, whoops. The scout left flank. So since we turn it around from their perspective, it'll be for that one. So we're going to go ahead and do this, because we don't like that we don't like that French light cav so far forward. So we're going to play that one. That'll give us 1 unit on the British left, and we're going to go ahead and take these guys and move them up to here. And since they were the only unit that was activated, they're the only unit that can attack. Now, technically, since I've got this unit, this heavy cav that's still adjacent to this unit from last turn, doesn't matter. This was the only unit that was activated. So what he's going to do is he's going to attack that light cav there. And you know what? I should probably check just to make sure the retreats on the light and the heavy are correct. Yep. Looks like I was correct on that. All right, it's just 1 hex. All right, so 3 heavy cav. So 3 steps, 3 dice, but they're heavy cav. They get 1 additional dice. And we've got a cav, a flag, an infantry, and a saber. So we can ignore the infantry, but we got the cav and the sabers. So that's 2 hits on the French infantry, and the flag, which means does a leader adjacent stop them? That's the other thing. It's the little itty bitty nuances with the leaders. And the boost morale is what I always Okay, yeah, if it's adjacent. A leader when alone. Yeah, all right. So it's not adjacent. So, and then we got one flag, so they have to go back one hex. One thing I forgot to do is that when that cav pulled, when this heavy cav pulled back from the attack here earlier, the cav could have continued moving forward. I chose not to because I forgot. And just out of fairness, because I forgot, I'm not going to have them advance, the British heavy cav advance into that hex. It's just fair that way. Alright, so discard that card and draw another one. What do we get? Probe center. That's 2. Okay, we might do that. Alright, back to the French. What have we got on the right? What can we do on the right? We got bayonet charge, we got bombard, we got recon of force, attack center. I really don't have anything left on the right that I can do. Well, no, I got this recon and force, which is 1 in each flank. Or each center, middle, left, right, center flanks. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Let's play the recon and force. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off over here. We're going to nominate these guys, but they are not going to move. They're just going to attack. So we do all movement first. So what do we have in the center? Let's see. What's the range of artillery? And that is foot. You've actually got a range of 5. So 1, 2, 3. Ooh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 4 hexes. Oh, let's see. I've got another foot here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? Let's go ahead and nominate this guy. He's not going to move. He's just going to attack. And then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. All right. We're going to nominate. We're going to nominate this foot cannon as well. All right. So let's go ahead and start over here with the cav. So we got 4 dice against. Since we nominated them as being activated, they don't have to move when you activate them, but they do get to attack. Oh, bloody, 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 bloody. 3 calves and an infantry. Wow. That is, wow. That is devastating. All right, well, that light cav just shattered British heavy. Whoa, that changes things. So we're going to go ahead and mark it that the French have earned one victory point. And you know what? What they are going to do is they are going to take the opportunity to break. I think it's called breakthrough or advance after combat. And I think Cav actually gets a chance to attack again. Let's see. That wasn't retire and reform. No infantry squares. Melee, foot, horse, hitting leader, applying results. Battle back, retreats. Leader escape. I know it's in here someplace. Cavalry breakthrough. Okay, never mandatory. 1 hex of additional movement. Cavalry that moves into the just vacated hex and then returns to its original hex. Let's see. When an ordered cavalry unit attacks in melee combat and eliminates or forces defended enemy unit or leader to retreat from the hex it occupies, the cavalry unit has conducted successful melee combat. Victorious attacking cavalry may advance into the vacated hex. After advancing into the vacated hex, the cavalry unit may then move an additional hex. The advance onto the hex, an additional hex of movement is referred to as cavalry breakthrough. Okay, maybe it's something in Ancients that I'm thinking of. That if you do a breakthrough, you can attack again. But yeah, okay, well, we can move 1 more hex if we wanted to. But let's not. Let's keep them right there. All right, so and then we had artillery. We nominated this artillery unit. That foot, and let's see, they're going to fire the enemy foot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Artillery works a little bit differently. Artillery depends on how many dice you have by what range it is. So foot it's going to be 4 hexes, and you get 1 dice at 4 hexes. see if there's anything special about French foot artillery. Yeah, may not move in battle. That's the only special about them. So 1 dice, and they are firing at that British foot. Okay, that's going to be an infantry, so that's not a hit. And then the other one we have over here is this foot. Going to be firing at these Grenadier Lights. Is that Grenadier? Guards Grenadiers, yeah. So that's 4 hexes. So that's 1 dice again. That's an infantry hit. All right, so that is 1 infantry hit. Okay. French are done. Draw a card. Probe right flank. Ooh, that's not looking good for the British on the right. And so what do the British have now? Scout right, assault right, attack right, fire and hold. Nothing's really in range. Attack right, probe center. Crap. I really do have a bunch of garbage cards for the British. You know what? Let's go attack right flank for the British. So we've got attack right flank, but from their perspective, it's going to be these guys over here. And I have 3. I don't even think. Yeah, all I've got is 3 units, so it's going to be those 3. Oh no, the delineation line is right there. Okay, so I think we're going to go. You know, now instead of attack right, let's just go scout right flank. Okay, we're going to go scout right flank instead. We got one unit on this side we can activate. Let's go ahead and activate the foot. So 1, 2, they're going to shoot. 4, let's shoot it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this foot artillery down here. Now, you know what? Let's shoot at that infantry there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty sure 5 is the max range. For foot, yep. Oh, no. Cannot shoot at 5. Well, balls. All right, well, let's just take this light infantry and push them 1 hex forward, then into the river. Now, normally, like I said, rivers normally block movement, but this isn't really a river. It's a stream. It just stops movement when you enter into it. So that's what the British are going to do. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and cut it right here because we're getting close to our 25-minute mark. So, yeah, that's a quick rundown. As you can see, I've already gone through, what, 4 or 5 turns so far. The card we just pulled for the British cavalry charge. That may be coming in handy next turn. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms in the comment section.